Is this not the most fucking ET alien comment you've ever fucking seen? Like, you just read this comment and you're like, what the actual fuck? Now, I know I said that I wasn't gonna reply to stupid comments unless they actually get in a voice chat and debate with me. And for the most part, that is true, but at the time when he said this, that's pretty much what I said to him. But this happened to come up when I was having a conversation with Draco, and just rereading this shit, I just realized how fucking funny this shit is. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. This is a fucking funny comment, so I'm gonna do a video on it. And it's just interesting to see how a fucking fanboy, they'll just go so far. Like, they'll say the stupidest shit just to defend their viewpoint. It's fucking insane how fucking stupid people look because of bias. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this. You said two arguments. You didn't just completely reject the idea of being, why didn't Whitebeard solo Kaido, or why didn't Whitebeard try to save Ace if he was helpless without plot, are nonsensical. Now, the first half of the sentence is just so retarded. I almost can't wrap my brain around it. Draco said this shit was so retarded that it pissed him off, and I'm inclined to agree. So I'm gonna just cut off all that and just start at, why didn't Whitebeard solo Kaido, and why did Whitebeard try to save Ace if he was helpless without plot? Now, you're saying the Marines are fighting the Whitebeard pirates and the prize is Ace. That's how the plot was written. Whitebeard's morality isn't impacted by the possibility of Magellan killing Ace before his scheduled execution. Dumb point. And obviously, he's not just, with his evidence or his reasoning, he's not just talking about just the execution part, them actually arriving at Marineford, because what he's replying to in specific is me saying it's such a fucking low chance of this happening that even if he was like strong enough to solo Marineford, it still doesn't mean without plot that there's any reasonable chance of this happening, because they have to travel a whole island's worth of distance, and fucking Sengoku, Garp, like all these powerful people, even a fodder, they can't cut Ace's head off before anyone gets to them. Like, there's no way you can fucking get to Ace before anyone can just kill him. Like, he's completely at their mercy. Now, he's saying this doesn't impact his morality, but that's just a stupid comment because, all right, I'll bring up like an example. If I'm trying to pressure my friends into robbing a bank, right? Let's say one scenario, 90% chance of success and not getting caught. The other, 5% chance. This doesn't have to be the case, but you can argue in the 90% chance one that this shows I care more about my friends because I'm only willing to do this and put them on the line, even though I'm trying to pressure them to do it. They don't really want to do it because it's a very high chance of success. While with the 5% chance one, you can just say that I care so much about robbing this fucking bank, getting my fucking money, that I'm just willing to do anything. Now, for Whitebeard, this pretty much shows, and this is why the comment is stupid, because he's just isolating this without the context. This pretty much shows just how dead set he is on something he really cares about, where even if it's such a low chance, he's still going to take it anyways. And it's something we've seen in the series before, Luffy and his lobby trying to save Robin, Luffy at Marineford. Now, with the context, I'm saying this is fine for Whitebeard to be this daring and take such high risk chances, but it doesn't make sense when you compare it to fucking Odin's situation, because he's just coming up with the stupidest reasons like, oh, father of ours can't die, people will die. Like, if if you're willing to take such insane odds in one hand, why are you, like, even like the slightest bump on the road, like, oh nope, can't do that, nope, too much. Like, obviously, with the actual context, I'm comparing these two situations and saying one is fine with what we knew from Whitebeard up until then, and then with this new information, now it's like, whoa, like, just why? Fucking weird scenario right there. But I'll get more back into that. The other one is, why didn't Whitebeard solo Kaido? I think this is another thing you're just gonna have to deal with. This is such a fucking weird thing to say to me, like, my guy, what dimension are you in? Did you listen to my video? I was pretty indifferent the entire time. What the fuck do you mean something I'm going to have to deal with? I can deal with it just fine. I've been dealing with it just fine. This is not something I care about that much, so what the fuck are you saying? I'm so confused. There could be many reasons Oda makes up. Admittedly, he's making them up arbitrarily, but this isn't a huge flaw in the writing and thus Whitebeard's character. It's not just that they're arbitrary, it's that they also don't make sense. It's just a tiny plot hole that there could be billions of in the story. Hard to get around. Kaido wasn't gonna get sold by Whitebeard, just wasn't gonna happen. Doesn't change the fact that Whitebeard should believe that he can solo the island, so for him to just not be willing to do that, either you have to imply blatant huge inconsistency, or Whitebeard just being a bitch. So, I mean, this isn't something I really cared about because fodder is executed so terribly, and like their importance is executed so terribly throughout the entire story. So I was just like, whatever. But yeah, you can't really just say this is a tiny plot hole. That's a pretty big plot hole. Your only other point is the weird code of honor, ethics, morality obsession. Somehow Whitebeard isn't Jesus, or somehow, because Whitebeard isn't Jesus, he's immoral, inconsistent in his morals. Whitebeard isn't a revolutionary. He isn't moving bodies to tear down the world government, who he knows is using slaves without a doubt. There are way worse problems than what's happening in Wano that he won't do because he doesn't only live to serve the welfare of others. This goes back into what I was saying before, with the slightest bump in the road, and it really depends on just how much you think you should care about this. Because my point was, for Whitebeard, someone who's a Yonko, he decided to become a Yonko. He could technically just stay in some remote island, get anyone who he finds worthy of being a family member, and just farm for food there. Like they could sustain their lives there and just enjoy being a family. So he doesn't have to be a Yonko, hold these territories, and fucking, put this target on his crew's back where he can't just like get revenge for any fodder that dies because fodder are going to be defending their territories. Fodder of his are going to die every day. He put this on himself. So we don't like really know the exact reasoning for why Whitebeard became a Yonko, but like I said, like the only thing you can really infer at this point is because he cares about protecting the islands of crewmates he cares about, like with Fishman Island. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that this is something that should be very important to him. This is something that someone he cares for, cared deeply for to the point where he was willing to die for it. So you would think by extension, Whitebeard would care about it a lot as well, especially since, he cares about his hometown a lot. So out of everyone in the One Piece verse, he should be the most sympathetic to having some deep feelings towards your home country and wanting to help it. So yeah, I don't really understand why you're thinking this is me saying Whitebeard has to be Jesus. I'm not fucking saying that he has to protect every island, just the islands of crewmates he cares about. This is very obvious stuff. Like, again, I have no idea what the fuck you are saying. And then, this is like the weirdest part of all. Another thing I want to bring up is Whitebeard favoring Ace over his crew. This is just misinformed. I literally said in the video that you can't like imply that this is saying that he favors Ace over his other crewmates. Like, bro, what the fuck are you saying? Did you watch my video at all? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with your brain? Goddamn. But yeah, if unless his other comment is just extremely funny, I'm not gonna fucking just keep making videos on this dude. I want him to fucking man up and actually get in a voice chat and debate with me. So we'll see if he does that, but until then, we can just laugh at this. So yeah.